It is week 4 of the NFL. That is closing in on us about 48 hours from now with kickoff between the Lions and the Packers. We're going to talk about that game as well as the rest of the NFL week 4 slate. We still have baseball, final week of MLB regular season action before we get into the playoffs, specifically with the wild card matchups. We'll hit on that a little bit. And of course, it's Waiver Wire Tuesday, everybody. So if you have fantasy football questions, fire away. Make sure you hit us up, Butt Fumble Sports, on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. We are live talking sports with you guys for as long as we can. We are dealing with some health issues. Crohn's is a hell of a thing. But we're continuing to battle through, answering your questions because we're live every single day. There will not be one day of 2023 when we don't come on live. So I hope you guys are with us every single day. Before we get into your questions really quick, just want to make sure I always tell you guys to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button across all of our platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Kick, Instagram, and on Twitter X. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. We are live every single day. There is not one day of this year we won't be live. If you ever want to reach out to us, feel free to contact us on our website, buttfumblesports.com. So always feel like you guys can reach out off the air. That's a great way to be able to do so. Let's check in on some of our plays from yesterday. Rams, Bengals, that cashed. Eagles on the money line, that cashed. Bengals if Joe Burrow plays, that cashed. Bucks plus 7.5. No, that did not cash, unfortunately. But the Eagles Bucks under also did cash. So you can see right there on your screen a reason why you guys should be following my sports picks every single day, giving out great bets every single day. So make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. And if you want all my bets every day, make sure you DM me on Instagram to get a link to the SHARPZ app. We give out our picks every day. And that way you can see our bets. No matter the day, no matter the sport, no matter the kind of bet, they'll all be up there. By the way, player prop bets, both of these cashed. A.J. Brown, both of these cashed as well. Godwin. I actually have to check Chris Godwin's stats. 32 yards. Nope, didn't cash on either one of these, so both of these missed, unfortunately. But Baker Mayfield interception did cash as well. Those were the picks we gave out yesterday, so we went, We went 4-1 on our MLB game picks. We went 3-1 in our player prop bets. So, just looking at the results from yesterday, we'll clear those out. We'll get to work now answering your fantasy questions, your sports betting questions for today or week 4. I've already started to look at week 4 from a betting standpoint, so feel free to fire away with your questions. Now, let's dive into it, whether you're watching on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. Feel free to ask your questions. Hey, should I do this Derrick Henry and Kittle for Mixon and Hawkinson? Yes, I would do that trade. Yes, I would do that trade. Trade Thielen for Dak. Ooh. The answer is yes, because otherwise I'm just dropping Thielen. So I'd actually rather trade him than get no value for him. So the answer is yes. Is Vegas too low on the Bengals? Absolutely, J-Lope Dog. The Bengals, I told you guys, Bengals and Jaguars still have a really good opportunity to turn this thing around. I have a lot of faith in both of those teams. Yusuf, trade London and Nico Collins for Ridley. The answer is yes, I would. I actually think you might be giving up a little bit too much value right now. I like that because you're upgrading the wide receiver position, but you're really trading like 2 B, almost B-plus players right now to try to get an A-minus player. I think you're giving up a little too much, Yusuf. Who should I trade Christian Kirk for? Austin, open-ended questions are a little tougher for us to answer. It depends what position you need. It depends what you value. It depends what owners who in your league who'd be willing to trade would go for. So try to ask a more specific question, and we'll try to give you a better answer. Riley Berry, is Derrick Henry plus a second-round pick a fair trade for Christian McCaffrey? Absolutely. Absolutely, Riley Berry. Absolutely. If Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, he'll be the number 1 player in fantasy this year, if not Justin Jefferson. Tyreek Hill, those top 3. And Addison, Sutton, Jacoby Myers, or DJ Moore. So, I'm going to pull up the Week 4 schedule for you guys so we can briefly go over it. And I'll look at it and for the perspective of your 4 players, just to do that. Obviously the Denver Broncos have the most hilarious matchup of the week, playing the Chicago Bears. That game is in Chicago. I'm expecting the Broncos to have a bounce back game. So Sutton is definitely someone that is on my mind. Jacoby Myers and the Raiders are playing the Chargers. I would like that, but Jimmy Garoppolo is in concussion protocol. Aiden O'Connell could be a nice surprise player, but don't know what you're going to get. That said, Jacoby Myers, I instantly like him because the Chargers secondary is dog poop. So I keep a little star next to him. Let's continue to consider him. DJ Moore, I don't trust Justin Fields. I do trust Patrick Surtain to bounce back after last week's embarrassment against Tyreek Hill. I'm not as high on DJ Moore. They've got to prove it to me now. The Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, Herbert, every player they have, Roshan Johnson, they all have to prove it. Until they prove it, I'm keeping them on the bench. As for Jordan Addison, looking at the Minnesota Vikings, they play the Carolina Panthers on the road. Addison disappointed me a little bit last week. Right now, I'm kind of caught between Addison and Jacoby Myers. I lean towards Addison just because I got Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball. I think the Vikings are going to win that game, so it's a bounce back. So, right now it's Addison, but you can hear I'm working through. We have to see how injuries play out. We have to see how Jimmy G, what his status is. C-word. Should I sell high on Mostert? You certainly could, but I think giving up a running back that's putting up his kind of production is a mistake. Value the running back position, everybody. Value the running back position. We see how many injuries there are across the league. It's so hard. Devon Achane is a great pickup right now, obviously on the waiver wire. Obviously, you should be thinking about him. But it's so much easier to find other wide receivers on the waiver wire than it is to find running backs. Jerome Ford, Achane, they're splitting touches. We don't even know if they're going to be good picks. Cam Akers with the Vikings, same thing. So, if you value one position more than any, it should be the running back position. Wide receiver, I can go find a Tank Dell. I can go find Quentin Johnston. I can find plenty of wide receivers to slot in. Hard to find running backs, folks. Hard to find running backs. Danny 7. Should I trade Tua for Jonathan Taylor? I wouldn't necessarily do that right now. I'd hold on to Tua. You got the MVP. I wouldn't necessarily move him. Mostert for Cooper Kupp. Interesting idea. Again, it really depends on what your wide receiver position is. Brendan, again, I value the running back position a little more. But if you feel like you've got depth at that position, which is hard to have, but if you feel like you have depth at it and you need to go get a wide receiver, I mean, it's an interesting trade, but I think Kupp will come back and get plenty of targets. Whether he ultimately has great value is another story. Best waiver wire for me to pick up in a 10-man league there. Moss, Tank Dell, and others. Well, if you can get Zach Moss for 1 or 2 more weeks of good production, I'd certainly consider him. I love getting Tank Dell. Quentin Johnston is another one. Hey, if Jerome Ford is still available in your league, go get him. I am starting to value Jaylen Warren more and more. Keep your eye on him. I think Jaylen Warren at some point may be the more valuable back in that offense, and they're still going to need a running game in Pittsburgh, so I definitely keep my eye on that one as well. So those are a few names that kind of come to mind. Too early to drop Fields for Love. Got Richardson on the bench. I'd drop Justin Fields right now. I would drop Justin Fields. I don't know if it'd be for Jordan Love. That's the thing that actually has me kind of hesitating, FBG. But am I dropping Justin Fields if I have Anthony Richardson and I need to pick up somebody else if Anthony Richardson's out this week? The answer is yes. Now, maybe you want to wait. Maybe you want to wait until later in the week. Makes it a little tough to get someone off the waiver wire who's valuable. But that said, I'd rather have Anthony Richardson right now. Answering a question on YouTube really quick. Do I try and trade away Raheem Mostert for someone like Travis Etienne? It's an interesting idea, but I would challenge you with this. Which offensive line do you actually think is better right now? The Miami Dolphins or the Jacksonville Jaguars? I say it's the Miami Dolphins, and so much of the running game is predicated on 2 things. The play caller. We know that Mike McDaniel is one of the smartest running coaches in the NFL. That was his specialty with the San Francisco 49ers. Plus, this offensive line's playing better than I expected in Miami. I understand Travis Etienne may have more long-term season value, but every once in a while we have to see we kind of have to take in what we're seeing and reevaluate. Look, I think Travis Etienne still has a lot of value ahead of him, but I think Raheem Mostert, I wouldn't give him up too quick right now unless you're getting a really good return. Will, Walker or Gibbs? For this week, what's interesting, again, I'm going to show this up on our screen to make sure everyone can see. Gibbs on the road against the Green Bay Packers. What's the status of David Montgomery? I'm going to assume he's still going to be out, but it's going to be probably pretty close. The Thursday game will probably keep him out. And then on the other side, the Seahawks are playing the New York Football Giants on Monday Night Football. I'm going to lean slightly, Will, towards Kenneth Walker for now. And here's the reason why. I think we've seen that the running defense of the Giants... Let me quickly pull that up, actually. I want to pull this up really quick. NFL team stats. Because I want to back this up. I don't want to just... I want you guys to see what's going on in my mind. If we look at the defenses, who's been the best against the run? Eagles, Browns, 49ers, Titans, Lions. Okay? Seahawks are up there as well. Flip it on its head. In the bottom 5, now, both of these teams have been bad against the run. Packers have been bad. Giants have been bad. But I'm going to believe that the Giants actually have been worse. Because the Giants, frankly, have faced opponents that they should have done better against when it comes to stopping the run, and they were glaringly bad. I think that Gibbs, part of the reason I'm not as worried about the Packers' run defense is when you didn't have Jair Alexander this week, it was going to impact both the passing and the running game because he had to commit more to the passing. So Jair Alexander comes back. They'll commit more to the front. I think they'll make it a little bit harder on Gibbs. Will, long answer. I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker. I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker on your question. Should I start Christian McCaffrey, Garrett Wilson, Nico Collins? I can't start Garrett Wilson right now. Until Zach Wilson is pulled, Garrett Wilson's so valuable, and yet you just know he can't get you enough points to make it worth your while. I would start Christian Kirk. That's who I would go with. Again, if we just pull on over to Outlier to see who these teams are playing, I'm just showing you guys to make sure you're aware of the matchups if you aren't already. This game is in London. Falcons-Jaguars is in London. That 9:30 start. I prefer Christian Kirk in that game as opposed to Nico Collins. If we check out the Texans, they're playing the Steelers. I feel a little bit better about the Steelers defense going up against C.J. Stroud. I know C.J. Stroud's on fire, but I'm going to trust that Christian Kirk is actually the better play. Bang it and play. Miles Maldonado. Would Jaden Reed be a good pickup? He's proven it so far. I still think the more that Christian Watson gets healthy, the less value he has. But you know what? He's showing me enough where I would pick him up and stash him because the likelihood that Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson gets hurt, still there. But he's still a wide receiver 3, and that shouldn't be confused. Brant C, 1, 2, 3. Rank these 4 this week. Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler, Bijan Robinson, and Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is back, so he is all of a sudden in the running. I think just to start, I'm going to start with Alvin Kamara. His value, not as great to me if the quarterback isn't Derek Carr. Now, I understand he's going to be used a lot in this week back, but frankly, Bucks, I know we saw they got torn apart in the running game, but I still believe that if Jameis Winston's on the field quarterbacking, the defense is going to be able to stop the run. So, I'm going to say Kamara is off the table, Brant C. That's where I start. So, wait a minute. I don't want to finish. I wanted to finish your question. You jumped on me. Where'd Brant C go? I was taking my time answering that question, Brant C, and it jumped on me, which I hate. Brant C, can you do me a favor and can you copy your question back in there? I lost it in the chat section, but I want to come back to it. So Brant C, if you could. By the way, I appreciate you guys tapping that screen, hitting that like button. If you love the conversation, make sure you hit the follow button. We're live every single day answering your fantasy questions. But Brant C, if you could, I'd love to finish the rest of that question. So just throw it back in the comments section. Or maybe we could pin it. If one of our moderators doesn't mind, if you guys could pin it, that would help me out. Dash, should I start Aaron Jones, Collins, Breece Hall, or Hollywood Brown? I would start Aaron Jones. I think he's going to be back. I think that's why they rested him this past week. So I think he's going to play on Thursday night. I do like Aaron Jones. Trade Chase for Kelsey. Ooh, I would do it because I think Kelsey has great value, but it's very, very close. I really like Jamar Chase moving forward still. Boo, I'd go Mostert. Boo, I'd go Mostert. Bro Joe Mack, pick 2. Aaron Jones would be 1. Bijan Robinson, taking a look at his matchup really quick. The Atlanta Falcons, like I said, will be facing the Jacksonville Jaguars. I like him in that matchup, so I would take Bijan and Aaron Jones. Kamara, like I said, I'm still probably going to wait a week on him. I want to see Derek Carr. As for the Tennessee Titans, they're playing the Bengals. I like Bijan. I like Jones, Bro Joe Mack. Trade Derrick Henry for Kamara. I mean, I kind of like it. I'm fading the Tennessee offense in every possible way. They are a disaster right now, and for reasons that were incredibly predictable. Incredibly predictable. There were so many reasons to anticipate that the Tennessee Titans would be a dog poop team this year. They did not draft well. You didn't need to draft another backup quarterback this year, especially one that, eats bananas with the peel and drinks mayo in his coffee. Like, there were so many reasons for the Tennessee Titans to address their offensive line, to address other talent positions. I just don't understand it at all. Personally, I think the Tennessee Titans are closer to the number 1 overall pick than they are to being anywhere close to contention in even what is still a weak division. So I'm really low on them. I still love Derrick Henry. I still think he puts up good production when he's not facing good defenses. He did face a good defense last week, so I'm not too quick to trade him. That said, Kamara, I think he's got good value in the running and the passing game. So, Anthony, what you really hear is, yes, I would make the move. I would make the trade. Chase, Henry, Goddard, Mostert for Pollard and DJ Moore. Chase, this is one of those, it's Derrick Henry. I'd rather have Derrick Henry, Goddard, and Mostert. I'd rather have the 2 running backs than the 1. And I don't value DJ Moore that much right now, at least. Should I drop Moss once JT comes back? Pedro, absolutely not. Put him on your bench, but I absolutely wouldn't give him up. He's got too much value to just give him up to the waiver wire. Chris Films traded Olave for Aaron Jones, Ridley, and McLaurin. Oh my goodness. That is a outstanding trade. Only for Olave, that's a great trade. Jamal Deep, should I trade McCaffrey for Swift and Chase, non-PPR? The answer is yes, I actually would. I actually think that Swift now has solidified himself as a RB1, RB2 in fantasy. So I actually think it's a good deal. If I pick up a package of Nico Collins, Wilson, and Breece Hall, look out. Bang and play. Ask a more defined question. That's open-ended. We're trying to get to a lot of people, so that's not going to work for us. Mark Raymond. I'd still go Christian Kirk. Mark Raymond, I'd still go Christian Kirk. Would you take Saquon and Christian Watson for Waddle and Jerome Ford? I'd rather have Waddle and Jerome Ford, believe it or not. Maswell, Debo, or Kamara at the flex. Really quick, I told you I'm not big on Alvin Kamara this week. Just want to see who the quarterback is. If it's Derek Carr, I feel better about it, but I don't expect it to be. So who's the quarterback in New Orleans? Is that Jameis Winston? Yuck, don't want that. 49ers on the other side are going up against the Arizona Cardinals. As well as the Cardinals have played, I feel like now, first of all, no one's going to take them lightly. No one's going to overlook them, so they're going to get the respect they deserve. And this is the 49ers. This is the 49ers. They are a better team. They know the Cardinals well because they play them twice a year. I think Debo has a good game, and I think the 49ers do not hesitate to crush skulls. So I would take the 49ers at home, and I would definitely take Debo as well. Zach, trade away Mostert and Ayuk for Diggs. I wouldn't do that. I'd keep Mostert and Ayuk for now. Should I trade Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Stevenson for Puka and Madison? No. I'd rather have St. Brown and Stevenson. That's a terrible idea. Keep St. Brown and Stevenson, for the love of God. OP, should I trade Geno Smith and Waddle for Josh Allen? The answer is no. The answer is no. I still value Geno and Waddle more. Rohan, trade Mostert and Najee for James Cook and Breece Hall. No, Mostert is the most valuable player in that group right now. Rohan, do not give up Mostert. Sure, you want to move on from Najee? I'm all for it. But don't make the mistake of thinking that Mostert is a 1 or 2 week thing. He's got value longer term this year. Blake J, would you take Saquon and Christian Watson? Oh, yeah, we answered that one. John Bills, Lamb, Davis for Eckler and Schultz. I'd rather have Lamb and Davis right now. Eckler's injuries are starting to worry me a little bit because I don't think it's just going to maybe be, he may come back, but can I trust him to be healthy the remainder of the year? Right now, CeeDee Lamb remains as valuable a wide receiver as there is outside of Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill. And Gabe Davis is still more valuable than Schultz by a significant margin. So I wouldn't make the trade, John Bills. Do I start Flowers and the Ravens defense? Well, right now it's really tough because the Ravens defense is not what it used to be. And the answer is no. I wouldn't start the Ravens defense. I would start Zay Flowers, though. I'm okay starting Zay Flowers. Should I trade Mostert and Jacobs for Calvin Ridley? Liam, that's given up 2 running backs for a wide receiver. I'm not crazy about it. I'd rather have the running backs, I think. What should I buy Cup at? If you can give me an example of a package. I'm not. No, the answer is I don't, because I don't think it's necessarily about that. Guys, some of you guys ask questions about who should I get, who should I pick up, who should be in this package. I say this to you guys every time we do that. I can sometimes give you some names if it's really easy. But for the most part, this is poker. You're not playing the cards, you're playing the other owners in the league. So, the owner who has Cooper Kupp, what do they need? Are they 0-2? Are they 2-0? Or at this point, 3-0, 0-3? What do they need? Do they need a running back? Do they need a tight end? What do they need? Look at what they're offering. So my whole thing is, you guys go, who should I package for Cooper Kupp? It's hard to say. I don't know who's on your roster. I don't know what you're trying to ultimately give up or what you're trying to hold on to. And it's about the other owners in your league. Perfect example. I have an owner in my league who's a giant Colts fan. Giant Colts fan. I have Michael Pittman in one of my leagues. At some point, I'm going to trade Michael Pittman to this dude, and I'm absolutely going to rob him. I'm going to. Michael Pittman's off to a great start this year, but I've had my eye on a couple players on his roster for weeks. Haven't made an offer yet, because at some point, he's going to reach out to me, and he's going to say, man, I really want Michael Pittman. At that time, I'm going to go get the running backs, the tight ends, everything that I want. So guys, when you're thinking about trades, don't just think about the player you want. Think about the player that your opponent wants to have. Think about what your opponent wants to get. If I can play the other people at the poker table, I'm going to come out ahead more often than not. Anyways, that's my advice. Thoughts on the Jags winning the AFC South? Jake, love it. Would take it right now. Would take it right now. Guys, I actually think that Jake is definitely onto something. Jaguars to win the AFC South at plus 135. Do we really believe the Colts are going to hold on to the magic they have right now? Look, I think Anthony Richardson is incredibly talented. They got it right. The Colts actually got it right. They didn't make the mistake going for Will Levis. They got the right quarterback. Yeah, it's going to take some time for him to mature, especially when it comes to accuracy, develop some of the mechanics and techniques that are going to make him better. But they're on to something. But do I think Anthony Richardson's going to lead them to a division title this year? No, even if Jonathan Taylor comes back and plays well. So, Jake, I love that bet that you're making. A futures bet. I don't do a ton of futures bets in season. Preseason, sure. But to get that kind of value on the Jaguars right now, folks who are watching on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, Jake just gave us a great idea. Jaguars to win the AFC South at plus 135. Love it. Love it. TW, I think it is time to drop Josh Kelly. He hasn't provided enough value anyways. Liam, I would make that trade then. If you're getting Jacobs and Ridley for Mostert, I would do that. Liam, yes, I would. If I trade Moss, London, and Kittle for Tyreek, will the opposition accept? I mean, I don't think they will, because I think if you're owning Tyreek Hill right now, I think you're telling yourself, over my dead body, am I giving him up? Gage, Kamara versus the Bucks, Mixon versus the Titans. It's Kamara versus the Bucks, Gage. This is the one scenario. There are a handful of scenarios where I'm not high on the other running back, and I'd take Kamara. I'd rather have Kamara against the Bucs. Mixon, that Titans run defense, it's real, guys. It's real. They don't defend the pass at all. We've seen it too many weeks in a row. Thanks, Jake. But I'm telling you, Mixon against that Tennessee run defense, I want no part of it. Funky B Money 22. Thoughts on Darren Waller? Do you like him better than Kittle? Not this week. I still like Kittle more this week. Braves fan 527. Who should I start? Zay Flowers versus the Browns, Reynolds versus the Packers, Kirk versus the Falcons. I'm going to lean towards Kirk versus the Falcons. It would be Flowers second, but I'll go with Kirk versus the Falcons. TB, start one. Dell, Williams, Moore. It's Tank Dell. It's Tank Dell. I can't believe I'm saying it. I don't trust DJ Moore, so he's got to prove it to me for him to earn that kind of status with me. Javonte Williams is a good play this week, but he's in the same boat. I just don't trust him. Tank Dell, I'm trusting him. I'm probably going Tank Dell in that group, believe it or not. Is Quentin Johnston or Palmer the better ad? Probably Palmer, just because he's going to be integrated into the offense faster. I picked up Quentin Johnston in a number of my leagues, but I think Palmer probably gets you faster points. Geno or Hurts this week? You got to go with Hurts. Guys, I think Hurts is a week in, week out start. I don't know if there is a team. I don't care if it's the Commanders. I don't care if it's the 49ers. I think I'm probably going with Jalen Hurts every week. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Make sure you hit that follow button no matter where you're watching. TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. We're live every single day answering your fantasy football questions, sports betting questions, everything you guys need to cash in. KD Hilly. I'd go Richardson if he's healthy. PJ, I'd go Bijan Robinson. Should you pick up the Seahawks defense this week? I don't think they're going to have a great performance against the Giants. I don't think the Giants are going to poop their pants the same way this week. Aspect, I'd go Brandon Ayuk. Brennan Garcia, I'm just not answering that question. There's a reason I didn't answer it on Twitch or whatever. Or YouTube, whatever you're watching. Who won this trade? I got Kupp and Richardson. I trade Geno, Ford, and London. 2 QB league. Oh, I like the trade. Ryan, I like the trade. I like the idea behind it, at least. Josh Kelly got to go. Maybe you want to stash him on the bench, but I'd be perfectly fine with letting him go. Again, guys, giving you guys on the screen a view of some of the early spreads that are coming across. I will be giving out my NFL picks, so make sure you guys hit me up on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports on Instagram. Just DM me, Buttfumble Sports on Instagram, and I will share a link with you guys so you can follow all of my bets. No, I don't answer your fantasy questions on Instagram, because if I did, I would get so many of them. It would be almost impossible to have a life. But if you want my sports bets every day, you can DM me on Instagram, and I will share that with you guys so you can get all of my bets every single day. You never have to miss a bet. We have been red hot. I mean, I told you guys the NFL was my best sport, and I would hope for those who have been tailing, we have backed it up. We went perfect on the game picks we gave out in our newsletter. Obviously, we're cashing tickets all the time. Mark Gonzalez, I would rather have Aaron Jones. Calvin Ridley or Amari Cooper. Just a really quick check, Amari Cooper's matchup against the Ravens. I might like Amari Cooper a little bit more. Calvin Ridley, I think, could have a big game in London. It's really a toss-up for me. Elmo, I'm going to lean towards Amari Cooper for now. Amari Cooper for now. Let's see how the week plays out. Justin Hunt, should I trade Saquon for Jerry Jeudy, David Montgomery, and Roschon Johnson? The answer is yes. There's enough value there because David Montgomery contributes it. I'm not crazy about it. You're really trading parts for a whole car. But David Montgomery, when he's back, could be enough value for you. OP, trade for Josh Allen and Jordan Addison. OP, rewrite that question. I have no idea what you're asking. Fish Stick, you're asking about Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Who are the Chiefs playing this week? Chiefs are playing the Jets. This week. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals are taking on the Tennessee Titans. You got to go with Joe Burrow. Fish Stick 15. I told you guys before, Tennessee Titans pass defense is god-awful. Joe Burrow, if he's able to stay upright and healthy, he's the better play. Mahomes has a really tough matchup against that Jets defense. Fish stick, crazy answer, but it's Joe Burrow. Tyler Murray, full PPR, start 5. Start 5. Okay, A.J. Brown, yes, I would start A.J. Brown. Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Deebo Samuel, DeAndre Swift, Waddle. Those are my 4 for sure. Those are my 4 for sure. I'm going to lean towards Derrick Henry being the 5th. So Brown, Henry, Samuel, Swift, Waddle. Those would be the 5, Tyler. Those would be the 5. Colby Kurtz, Devontae Smith and Montgomery for Travis Etienne. Not a good trade, Colby. Not a good trade. Raz, I was offered Aaron Jones and Diggs for Hill and Raheem Mostert. It's a fair trade. It's a fair trade. I don't know if I'd want to be doubled up on the Dolphins offense every single week, but given how much they're scoring right now, it probably is the only team you feel that way about. It's close, Raz. It's close. I might want to have Jones and Diggs a little bit more. Is Palmer worth a waiver 1 spot with dropping Collins? Oof. Right now, Nico Collins has some value to him. I think it's very close, Brian. I actually don't know if... I wish there was someone else you could drop, to be honest. Should I drop Danny Dimes? Yeah, you shouldn't have Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes is not worth owning and never was. Grant Carl, Ridley and Godwin for Cooper Kupp. No. I'd rather have Ridley and Godwin. I'd rather have Ridley and Godwin. Hey, I'm Vanity. Would you do Ayuk and Ferguson for Laporta? No, you're giving up too much value. Keep Ayuk and Ferguson. Too much value given up. Diego is Beast 22. Pick 3 to start. I'd pick Bijan. I'd pick Kyron. Yeah, I'd go Bijan. I'd go Kyron Williams rather. Sorry, Bijan, Kyron Williams, and I'm going to lean slightly towards Gibbs. J Money. I traded Mostert for Jacobs. Not good, J Money. Vomit Hurricane. What a name. I picked up Howell for week 3, but he went 21 points. Yeah, he was terrible. He was a Vomit Hurricane. Do I drop Harris to pick up Palmer? Yes. Philly fan, yes you do. Let's get back to TikTok answering your questions. Junior, I'm going to go Bijan. Xavier, rest of the season, I'm still going Derrick Henry. Mo, I have no idea what you're talking about. Mostert for Kyron Williams. Chase, I wouldn't do it. I know Kyron Williams is getting all the running back touches, but I don't necessarily think that's a good thing all the time. I actually think that could wear him down, set him up for injury. Chase and Moss for CeeDee Lamb and Connor. Who wins? Chase and... It would be CeeDee Lamb and Connor. CeeDee Lamb and Connor, because once JT comes back, Moss may lose value. James Conner is solidifying his value right now in Arizona. Logan Carr, trade away Puka for Christian Watson. Not a terrible idea. I actually really like it, Logan Carr. It's a good idea. Lamb and Miles for Bijan. The answer is no. Tony LT Blackwood, you're giving up too much value. If you wanted to give up Lamb straight up for Bijan, fine. But Miles Sanders has enough value where actually you're not getting enough in return. Nico, Swift, and Judy for Ridley. If you need to upgrade the wide receiver position, sure, I'd rather keep Swift right now. I really like Swift. I'm 0-3 with Bijan, Moss, Diggs, A.J. Brown, Kittle, Olave, Tucker. How's the rest of my season look? You're going to need to upgrade at that second running back spot. I love your wide receivers. Don't think that's a problem. And I think Love is just... I'm not crazy about him. I think he's week to week always in terms of whether he's valuable or not. Stevenson or Swift. For this week, Patriots matchup against the Cowboys. I think that Cowboys run defense will perform better this week. Swift on the other side. Eagles matchup is against the Washington Commanders. Let's take a look really quick. In terms of defense against the run, Swift, again, going up against the Washington Commanders. Washington Commanders are bottom 12 in the league. Bottom 12 in running defense. However, Cowboys are actually bottom 10. So I got to go with Stevenson. Hunter, I got to go with Stevenson, believe it or not. Himothy, Madison, and Cooper for Jacobs. No. Himothy, I'd rather have Amari Cooper. Edwin Vasquez, Sutton, and Freiermuth for Olave. That's a trade I do. Edwin Vasquez, I'd rather have Olave. I know Derek Carr, his health impacts that trade, but I still like it. Mahomes and Ford for Bijan and Allen. Colin Daughtry, that's a good trade. Colin Daughtry, that's a good trade. Seth, trade DJ Moore and Madison for Ramondre and Tank Dell. Seth, great trade. Great trade, Seth. TB, if he's healthy, Richardson. If he's healthy, Richardson, the problem is Goff plays on Thursday, so you won't know necessarily the status of Richardson. But if he's healthy enough to go, I'd rather have Richardson. Appreciate all you guys watching, whether it's on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. Make sure you guys hit the follow button. We're live every single day, whether I'm feeling my best or not. I'm not feeling that well right now, and I'm still live every single day. So make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. Again, we're live every single day. There will not be one day of 2023 that we're not live, so make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're a member of this community. We are close to 55,000 followers on TikTok. On all of our platforms, we're over 60,000. I hope you're one of our followers. I hope you're one of the members of this amazing sports community. We talk sports every day because we're real sports fans, helping you guys out with fantasy, sports betting, and everything else. Brogan. I would go with Kyron Williams, and I lean towards Zach Moss. Thanks so much for the support, J Lope Dog. Do I trade Achane for Laporta? No. I mean, I think there are other tight ends you could pick up. I think running back's so valuable. Laporta absolutely has turned into something, though. Hal. Allen for Diggs and for Diggs or St. Brown. If you're going to do it, Hal, make sure it's Diggs. But other than that, I'd keep Allen. Hurts, Pollard, Jacobs, Chase, Keenan, Kittle, Gibbs, Mixon. How does you know how your team looks. You're 3-0 and you're looking great. Chris Zaka, I'd go Mostert. Evan, need an upgraded running back. Metcalf for Mixon. Well, Mixon's going to have a bad week this week, so you're kind of trading him at a bad time. Moss or Tank Dell at the flex? I'd go Moss. Big Bobby Mack. Trade Adams and Hall for Christian McCaffrey. Yes, I would. Jude, should I trade Lamb with some lower pieces? I don't know what that means, but no, I'd keep Lamb. Carlos, Jacobs in London for Ridley and Sanders. Yes, I'd do that deal. Carlos, I'd do that deal. Hunter, I'd rather play Hunter Henry. J Lope Dog, already asking about Bengals minus 2.5 against the Titans. I'll take another look at it later in the week, but for now, J Lope Dog, I do like the Bengals on that one. But I'm going to have to look at the trends. I haven't looked at the trends just yet. And as you guys know, it's never my picks. I don't like giving out my picks. I like looking at data, trends, analytics. So when I give you the Butt Fumble Sports pick for a game, what I'm really telling you is this is what the data tells us. This is what the trends tell us. It's not about who's my favorite team or what players I like. Nope, it's about us looking at the weather, the matchup, the data, the history, the trends, and finding the best bets for you guys to cash every day. If you guys do want my bets every single day, just DM me on Instagram. If you want all of my sports bets for free, DM me on Instagram. I'll hook you up with a referral code for the SHARPZ app. SHARPZ is one of our sponsors, so make sure you DM me today. Got offered Ford for Olave. Need a running back too. Lost Chubb. I mean, I'd rather have Olave out of that group, but... Alpine Rooster. Should I trade St. Brown for Keenan Allen or Saquon? No, I'd rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown. If you need a running back, I'd still look for other players that maybe I'd trade before Amon-Ra St. Brown. Trade Jacobs for Algier and Ayuk. Yes, I would. And yes, I would. Michael's giving out advice of his own. That's nice. Luis. I would start Waddle. Again, to check out on the games that we have this upcoming week. Miami Dolphins are playing the Bills. Waddle, it was a concussion. If it was hamstring, ankle, I'd feel differently. Oh, IP Shade 45. Mic check. I have never seen that before. Thank you. What was that? Luis, I know Ayuk's going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Ayuk's going to be a great play. I still think I like Waddle right now. We'll talk about it later in the week. Hone in on it. Should I trade Najee for Godwin? Danny, yes I would. Landon, Tua, Etienne, Connor, CD, Keenan, Mostert. Landon, you've been having a fun time in fantasy football so far this year. Great team. Any good waiver wire pickups plus defense and kickers? I don't really know about kickers. I don't know who's on your waiver wire. That's harder for me to say. When it comes to defenses this week, a few that come to mind, I would definitely look at the Cleveland Browns at this point. I know they're facing Lamar Jackson, but the Browns have proven right now, new defensive coordinator, but same Myles Garrett. I love what I'm seeing from the Browns. I'm not saying this week's going to be a great week for them, but maybe a team you want to pick up off the waiver wire if they are available. Vikings and Panthers, not going to touch that one, but is there a defense in there? Maybe on the Vikings side, but not really. They give up too many passing yards no matter who the quarterback is for Carolina. Buccaneers defense becomes interesting if Jameis Winston does play. I really don't want to take the Bucs defense because we just saw them get torched. But if it's Jameis Winston, I mean, if you're desperate, you're desperate. Finally, I would consider maybe thinking about the Seahawks defense again if you're desperate. But really, not a lot of great defenses to pick up this week. The only other one I would... See, the problem is, I would say pick up the Chargers, but I think Aiden O'Connell could actually torch them if he actually plays in that game. So there are a lot of reasons to say there aren't a lot of good defenses to pick up this week. A lot of tough matchups, if I'm being honest. When it comes to defense, picking up a defense off the waiver wire. Michael, Chiefs defense is good if available. Oh, that's a great point. Chiefs defense. No, that's a great point against the Jets. No, Michael makes a great point, everybody. Chiefs defense is a great defense to pick up off the waiver wire if they're still available. Great point, Michael. Great call. Trade Connor and Pickens for Pollard. Travis, I would. Travis Smith, yes, I would. Thanks so much, Yusuf. BJ, who should I drop? Stafford or Mayfield? I'd probably drop... I'd drop Mayfield, I think. It's close, but I'd drop Mayfield, I think. Trade Diggs to get Barkley? I'd rather keep Diggs. What wide receiver one can I get for Hopkins and Tyler Algier? Boofwop, I say it again. Make sure you focus on the teams in the league where the owner would be susceptible to a trade. This is poker. It ain't blackjack. You can't just kind of hope you get the cards. You got to know who you're playing against. And so what I would say is challenge those who have players that you want. See what they give back. See what the deals are. Lucky Dad, Pierce or Flowers? Really quick, want to show you guys, when it comes to run defenses right now, where are the Steelers? Surprisingly bad. Surprisingly bad. Steelers have been a really bad run defense, allowing 151 rush yards this year. So, Houston Texans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Believe it or not, keep your eye on Dameon Pierce as a player that pops. Lucky Dad, Dameon Pierce might be a player that I like overall. Really quickly, let's go shoot over to the Outlier app, and let's look at a player prop bet involving Dameon Pierce, because this may be one we like, actually. Oh, he's not coming up just yet, but here's the point. Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce is a player that I do like when the time comes for player prop bets and for fantasy. Keep your eye on Dameon Pierce this week. Really good opportunity against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and hopefully he has more of his offensive line back healthy. Olave or A.J. Brown? Brogan, I'd go A.J. Brown. Hansen, how can you rank these three the rest of the season? I'd probably go rest of the season. I'd go Amari Cooper 1, Metcalf 2, Ayuk 3. It's more about the mouths to feed in San Francisco, taking opportunities away from Ayuk. Is Puka and Sutton from Amon-Ra St. Brown a good deal? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'd do it. Diego is beast. Pick 3 to start. Lamb has a tough matchup. Oh, IP Shade 45. You're finding some new ones, IP Shade 45. I'm noticing that today. Diego is beast. Lamb has a really tough matchup against Christian Gonzalez and the Patriots, but I still would start him. I would go Tank Dell would be 2. I'd probably go Pickens 3. So it's Lamb, Tank Dell, and Pickens, Diego. Crazy group for this time. Mahomes or Kirk this week. Catfish, I'm going Kirk Cousins. Catfish, I'm going Kirk Cousins. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel like you guys do every single day. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you guys do love the content, if you love the conversation, make sure you're a follower. Make sure you hit that follow button. That way you catch our show every day. We're live every day. I've been dealing with a Crohn's attack over the last 48, 72 hours, and I'm still live today. That is how committed I am to talking football with you guys every single day, talking sports betting. It can be baseball, football, basketball, hockey. I don't care. Here to help you guys out every single day with everything you need, because I just love talking sports with you guys. It's why I created the company. Can a mod pin questions? Yes. Act JJ. Moderators, you have been requested. Act JJ, we are about it. Okay, if you guys have contributed to the show. Oh, you sent a subscription. Thank you so much. Oh, Sam Mancini, thanks for subscribing. We've got some new subscribers. Okay, if you guys, yep, time to pin some tweets. So I'm going to be focusing on those on TikTok who have contributed to the show. You guys, moderators, if you could, pin those tweets. Moderators, if you could, pin those tweets. We're going to answer some of the questions of those who have contributed. So moderators, if you could, please pin those tweets. Mona L. I'd go Stevenson. Mona L. I would go Stevenson. Thanks so much for the question. Matthias, sorry. Is it time to drop Breece Hall? Drop? I don't know. Bench? Yes. Dylan is chilling. Kenny Pickett is good option this week. Can trust Fields no more. I don't know if I trust Kenny Pickett either, even this week, but I don't trust Fields anymore. Gabbo, trade Diggs, Walker, and Aaron Jones for Allen, Tyreek, Najee, and Kamara. Yes, I would do that, Gabbo. Yes, I would. Tony Smith, what's happening? Hope you guys are having fun. By the way, IP Shade 45, thanks for gifting that subscription. Hope you continue to do that. That is awesome. Really appreciate that. Moderators, if you could, pin some tweets for us. Let's get some of these tweets up here, or some of these posts. So moderators, if you could, pin some of these so we can get them up here. Drew, I'd go Josh Jacobs. Mixon has a brutal matchup. Lex, should I trade Jonathan Taylor or you think he'll play? He's going to play in a week or two. I wouldn't give him up. He's going to come back from the PUP. I wouldn't give him up just yet. Sam, have first waiver wire. Look, Sam, depends what you need more. I think it's easier to find running back. I think it's easier to find wide receivers. So I would make Achan. I'd make Achan the pick I'd take. I'd rather have Achan because it's harder to get running backs off the waiver wire. Palmer, you could pick up Quentin Johnston. You could pick up Tank Dell. You could pick up a handful of other wide receivers. Achan is a rare pickup right now. Pick him up. Sam, that's who I would get. E. Curry 2. Mac Jones. Between Daniel Jones or Mac Jones, I'd rather have Mac Jones, believe it or not. I just don't trust Daniel Jones at all. Especially in a primetime game. Daniel Jones poops his pants in primetime. Like, we have the shit stains to prove it. Also, thoughts on Jaylen Warren. I'm high on Jaylen Warren. I think he is getting better and better. As Najee's star is falling, Jaylen Warren is climbing up the depth chart. I like it. Michael Mostert for Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's a good deal. Thoughts on Ford and Hunt situation. JT, Ford's going to be the number one running back. I like Ford a lot. I'd rather have Ford. Appreciate all of you guys watching the show. Got any solid baseball bets for today? Yes, I do. Let's get those up on the board. I know a lot of you guys like our baseball picks every single day. I haven't given up any. Let's get a few of those picks up on the board. First of all, let's get a SHARPZ play of the day up on the board. This is my favorite pick of the day. By the way, this has been one of the most consistent cashing tickets I have been giving out of late. So, make sure you guys are paying attention right now as I get this loaded up and the SHARPZ. I gotta get my notes loaded. I don't know why this isn't going. Okay, great. So, here's where I'm going. SHARPZ play of the day. Orioles on the money line. Easy play. Orioles on the money line. But I'd fold it into a bunch of parlays. It's a minus 238 pick on the money line. Not super attractive. I wouldn't call it a SHARPZ play of the day, but I would also take the Orioles minus 1.5. I'd also take the minus 1.5. So the play of the day is the Orioles on the money line, but I'm going to give you another one as well because I don't want you guys to think that's my only play of the day, a very unattractive ticket. But I'd also take, give it to me, I would also take Braves on the money line, even though they're facing Justin Steele. I'd still take the Braves on the money line. That's a minus 145. The fact I can get the Braves at minus 145 at this point, good plays to make. So if you guys want some more of my MLB picks, all you got to do is hit us up. But our two SHARPZ plays of the day, Orioles on the money line, Braves on the money line, I parlayed those two together in a 2-leg parlay. Make sure you guys DM me on Instagram. ButtFumbleSports on Instagram. ButtFumbleSports on Instagram. DM me. I'll share a link with you guys so you can get all of my bets every single day. MLB, NFL, college football, NBA, and NHL when the time comes. So if you want every bet that I make every day, I've connected my sports book so every bet I make shows up on the app. If you want that, make sure you DM me on Instagram. Cubs, Braves, no run in the first inning. I would say yes to a run in the first inning, actually. I'm going in the other direction on that one. If I had to go anywhere, I would go Cubs, Braves, yes to a run in the first inning. Believe it or not, I like a run in the first inning of that game. Thanks so much for the question. Astros on the money line. No, I'm going in the other direction on that one. By the way, great series going on in Seattle. I am actually going Mariners on the money line. I would take the Astros at plus 1.5, but I do like the Mariners on the money line. I understand Christian Javier has been a great underdog, but I'm going to stay with the Mariners on the money line. I'll trust George Kirby, and I'll take Astros plus 1.5. Yes, it means I'm on both sides of it. It means I can't lose the bet. However, I also think both tickets are going to cash. Hunter, Henry, or Pitts? Mason, Kyle Pitts, man. Kyle Pitts. Is he the most frustrating player in the NFL or what? The answer is, I want to say Kyle Pitts. It should be Kyle Pitts. But Mason, screw Kyle Pitts. Screw the Atlanta Falcons for how they use Kyle Pitts. It is the worst every single week. He has the better matchup. He should be the start. I can't trust him at all. Drew, I'd go Kenneth Walker. Thank you so much for the question. Moderator, thank you for pinning it. Stafford or Daniel Jones? I'd go Stafford. McLaurin or Tank Dell? I'm going to go Tank Dell, believe it or not. Who should I try to... we don't answer those. Puka falling when he had the big reception at the end of the game cost him my parlay. Oh, so sorry, Christian. So sorry. Trade Kamara for Josh Jacobs? No, I'd keep Kamara. I'd rather have Kamara right now. Appreciate all those who are watching the show across all of our platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. All of our picks are up on the screen so far, so make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the follow button. Evan, I'd go Kirk Cousins. Michael, Stafford. Michael Bostwick, I'd go Stafford. Brody, I'd go Laporta. Daniel, you're giving up too much. I think. Should I do Lamb and Flowers for... No, I'd keep Lamb and Flowers. Carson, 13, I'd go Brock Purdy. Gavin, should I trade Love and Dotson for Joe Burrow? Yes, I would. Gavin, yes, I would. Wyatt, I'd go Zach Moss. Wyatt, 1575, I'd go Zach Moss. Let's be frank. I got to go Metcalf. Brian Robinson, brutal matchup this week. Brutal matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. Can't trust him this week. Eagles are the best run defense in the NFL for a reason. So I am fading Brian Robinson this week, folks. I am not about him this week. Maybe he gets in the end zone. That's the best you could hope for. Between the 20s, it is going to be ugly. Evan, I'd go Tank Dell. Why do I'd go Nico Collins. No, I take that back. Why do I'd go Sutton. I'd go Sutton. Hezzy 2K. Hezzy 2K. Who do I pair Ford up with? He needs a wide receiver. I have... Oh, D-Hop. 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 Get rid of D-Hop. Hugo G. What do you think about this trade? Herbert and Addison for Love and Olave. I'd rather have Herbert and Addison. Etienne and Ingram for Barkley. No. No, absolutely not. Sell Mike Evans. Not a terrible idea right now, Joseph Nix. Depends what you're getting back. Josh Waldrip. Start 2. I would start Swift and I'd start Kenneth Walker. Hold on one sec. Yeah, Swift and Kenneth Walker. Swift and Kenneth Walker. Matt, Achane is a great pickup right now. Achane is a great pickup. Lewis, I'd go Jerome Ford. Lewis, I'd go Jerome Ford. Davis Trudeau, I'd go A.J. Brown. Up. We lost it. We lost it. Guys, if you want all of my bets every single day, including my MLB player props, DM me on Instagram right now. DM me on Instagram right now. I'd go Swift over Connor. Swift over Connor. DM me on Instagram right now if you want to get my favorite MLB bets of the day. They're all on the SHARPZ app, everybody. My player prop bets, my game picks. If you want to get a link and a referral code, just DM me on Instagram. Jonah, I'd go Amari Cooper. Luca, I'd go Richardson as long as he's healthy. Sell high on Mostert? I wouldn't. I'd keep him. I think his value is going to be there. I wouldn't move on from him right now. Miles Sanders or Etienne? I'd rather start Etienne. Jay Wags, I'd rather start Etienne. Yeah, moderators, I already saw that and wasn't answering. Ian, Jerome Ford and Dotson for Ayuk and Hunt. I'd rather have... I'm not crazy about it. I'd rather have Jerome Ford probably out of the whole group. Ayuk would be second, but I think Jerome Ford has the higher upside. Brian Robinson and Gabe Davis for Kamara. No, Nolan, you're giving up too much. Okay, guys. Final minute of the show. I'm dealing with some health issues, so I'm going to end a little early, but we will be live later, probably later tonight. So make sure you hit the follow button, everybody. Make sure you're following Butt Fumble Sports. We're live every single day, so I will be live later tonight. Moderators, no more. I will be live later tonight, and I will also be live tomorrow at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. tomorrow. By the way, Crohn's is a bitch. Don't get Crohn's. That said... We will be live later tonight, probably. We'll see how I feel. Damian Skyberg, should I trade Mostert for McCaffrey, even if I need... If you can get McCaffrey for Mostert, do the trade. If you can get McCaffrey for Mostert, do the trade. Even if you got to add a wide receiver, do that. Appreciate all those who are with us every single day. Arturo, yeah, lost Mike Williams. Look to Palmer, look to Quentin Johnston, look to Tank Dell, a couple players that I'm picking up. Trade Puka for Kupp? Yes. Trade Ford for Evans, Standard League? Yes. Kincaid or Goddard? Probably going Goddard. Trade JJ? No. Kamara or Pacheco? Aiden, I'd go Pacheco, I think. Barely. Very close. Very close. Appreciate all of you guys being with us every single day. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. We are live on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Make sure you hit the follow button. I'm Just Ghosted asks, how much should you be putting up for Achane? I put up $20, believe it or not. I put up 15 in some, $20 in another. Addison or Jay Warden in the flex? Gerardo, I'd go Addison. Gerardo, I'd go Addison. Folks, because I'm dealing with Crohn's, I am going to sign off a little bit earlier today than I normally would. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. If you want all of my bets every single day, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. It's the name of my company, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. Make sure you DM us, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. I'll share a link. You can get all of my bets, my MLB bets, NFL, college football, every bet that I make automatically shows up on the SHARPZ app. DM me on Instagram if you haven't gotten it yet. That said, make sure you guys hit the follow button. I will be live probably later tonight. I will certainly be live tomorrow. You want to know why? Because Butt Fumble Sports is live every single day. There is not one day, there will not be one day of 2023 when I'm not live. I would have to be run over by a bus, unable to talk. I will get on live and I will flash hand signals. There will not be one day I'm not live. So make sure you guys hit that follow button. Make sure you're subscribers. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, even TikTok, make sure you're following. Make sure you're subscribing. We are live every single day. So hit that follow button and make sure you're a part of this amazing community. You ever want to hit us up? Go hit us up on our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can email us, contact us. I love hearing from you guys. So you can always hit us up on our website, buttfumblesports.com. While you're there, check out our store. We have some great merchandise, including some great NFL shirts. So make sure you DM us. If you want to check out our shirts, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Plenty of opportunities for you guys to connect with us and be a part of this great community every single day. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We will be live again tomorrow at 5 p.m. We'll probably be live later tonight as well. Might be a subscriber-only show on TikTok, so make sure you guys subscribe today. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Hope you guys have a wonderful night. Hope you stay healthy. Hope you stay safe. Have a great night, everybody. I'll probably be on later tonight. So make sure you hit the follow button. And I will be live at 5 p.m. Eastern Wednesday. 5 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. That way you can guarantee you know when our next show is. Have a great night, everybody. Go cash some tickets. Go make some moves on the waiver wire. And I will see you guys later tonight. Have a great night, everybody.